Okay, we're back for session 2 of the Exeter AI D&D campaign. Let's play back where we left off before the housekeeping took place.
Brock and Mars finish their meals quickly, the hearty dwarven fare providing a welcome boost of energy. The clinking of mugs and lively chatter of the tavern fade behind you as the group steps outside into the crisp mountain air of Ironhold. Kaelin pulls up her hood, motioning for Lareth and Thrain to fall in. The entrance to the Flametong mines is a half-day's trek from here. Stick close and stay sharp. There's no telling what we'll encounter on the way. The road ahead is rugged, winding through rocky trails and ancient mining outposts. The journey begins. Would you like to travel in silence, scout for danger, or strike up conversation as you head toward the mines?
Okay, so that was the last narrative response before the housekeeping took place regarding how much XP our characters got, which I did add to both Mars and Brock. I did change their names because GPT, that's how it sees them or mistook them. But to be honest with you, it stuck, and I'm completely fine with it. Anyways, this is a feature I added for session campaign notes in the instructions. I will post the instructions I used. It's always evolving, it's always changing. So when I post it after recording, it may change before the next session. So feel free to do what you want with it. It's completely, it's open. You can tweak it. It's very simple. They're split into categories, brackets. And I try to think of something new for the next one, and sometimes I add things, sometimes I take away things, and I try to um, make it fluid. So I did add a new instruction to it, and that's for tracking the time of day in the world setting. So that's supposed to appear at the top of each narrative response, much like how at the end of each narrative response, when appropriate, an optional or a required skill check would appear based on the situation. So if it doesn't appear on the next response here, I will tell it or remind it, which that will take little to no effort. So we are outside the tavern, as explained, and we're about to make our way. It gave us a few options on the method of travel. We can travel in silence, scout for danger, strike up conversation as you head toward the mines. As the leader, what was her name? Let's see. Kaylin, there she is. Kaylin, she says there is no telling what we'll encounter on the way. So we have to be prepared for anything. And in my instructions, it says to be very difficult. Challenging, not extremely difficult or impossible. So I believe as Mars is the ranger, he should perhaps scout ahead. Brock can be with the team as the muscle. So let's go ahead and say that. As we venture forth, Mars will scout ahead as he is the ranger. Brock will remain with the team as defense. Hopefully, gives the time of day. Memory, I don't know why it does that. That's not part of the instructions.
Noted. Mars will move ahead to scout, using his sharp senses and agility to spot potential threats or hidden dangers, while Brock holds steady with the team, ensuring their protection. When you're ready to continue, we'll pick up right at the start of the journey to the Flametong mines. Let me know.
We are ready to start this new session, and don't forget about the time of day in each response. Okay, let's begin. Early morning, 7:30. Perfect.
Time of day, early morning, around 7:30 a.m. The party steps out into the crisp mountain air, the sun's golden rays cutting through the chill as they begin their half-day trek to the Flametong mines. Mars moves ahead, scouting the rugged trail with his sharp eyes and careful steps, while Brock holds his position with Kaelin, Lareth and Thrain, keeping the group secure. The path winds through rocky outcrops and sparse vegetation. In the distance, faint bird calls echo, but the terrain ahead is dotted with old mine shafts and crumbled outposts, potential hiding spots for trouble. Skill check. Mars can roll Perception, D14, to spot any immediate dangers or signs of activity ahead. Let me know your roll.
Okay, perception check for Mars. Yep, Perception. What do we get? 4. Definitely did not pass that threshold. Perception roll of 8 total.
Time of day mid-morning, around 9. Mars scans the trail as he moves ahead, but the uneven terrain and shifting shadows make it difficult to pick out any clear signs of danger.
Mm.
The path seems quiet, too quiet perhaps, but nothing catches his eye. Behind him, the group moves steadily forward. Kaelin looks up from her map, glancing toward Mars. "See anything yet, Elf?" she calls, her tone even but cautious. Suddenly, a faint scraping sound echoes from an abandoned mine shaft to the right, just off the trail. It's too faint to pinpoint the source, but it sets your nerves on edge. What will Mars do? Investigate, signal the group, or move on?
I will signal the group for them to stop and pull out my longbow, aiming in the direction of the sound. Senses focused on the direction of the sound. Could be an encounter. I think I have a longbow. Let's see. Equip. We have to equip weapons and armor. Oh my gosh, I'm not wearing anything. Let's see. Yep.
Time of day mid-morning. Mars raises a hand, signaling the group to halt. With practiced ease, he nocks an arrow and trains his longbow on the shadowy entrance of the abandoned mine shaft. His sharp eyes narrow, scanning for any sign of movement. The faint scraping sound has stopped, leaving only an unsettling silence. The rest of the group pauses, their weapons at the ready. Kaelin whispers, "Good call. Stay sharp." Brock steps to the front, his axe gripped tightly, ready for action. Skill check. Mars can roll Perception, DC 12, to see if he catches any subtle movement or clues from the mine shaft. Alternatively, someone can approach cautiously with Stealth or Investigation. Dean, what's your move?
Let me make sure I have. Okay, so I only have the studded leather armor for. Oh, AC class of 15, I'm guessing with dexterity modifier. Mars looks like he's equipped with what he can have. A lot of random stuff. And then we have Brock. I don't think I have anything equipped with him. How did I forget? He has a great axe. He's got no armor? Wow. Okay, so great axe. I have no armor whatsoever. That's surprising for a barbarian. Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna cheat and give him leather armor because that is a oversight on my part. Let's see what we got for armor. That's even weaker than the elves. Need something just a bit better than that. Hide armor, probably. Let's do that. AC 12, still low. Compared to Mars is, well, again, dexterity does have a play in that. I, I know some of you won't like to see this, but I want to give him some armor. I don't want to give him some anything OP. Let's do a shield. Spiked armor. Spiked armor. Disadvantage of stealth. There's something kind of a get a better armor, but you're slower. Shield. 18, that's too much. What is it without the shield? Okay, 16, that's fine. I'll take away the shield. Again, I don't want to cheat too much, but I want them to have a slight chance because I know these instructions are going to be tough. All right, so we need to make a perception roll. Let's focus on that. Mars will do another perception roll, and that is not in this page here. So we will jump over here to +4, hoping for a 19. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, Mars rolled a 19 perception roll. I thought it's tracking the time so
Time of
linearly.
day, mid-morning, around 9:10 a.m. Mars's keen eyes pick up the faintest flicker of movement just inside the mine shaft, a shadow shifting unnaturally against the rock. He notices the glint of something metallic, a crude blade or tool in the hand of a humanoid figure lurking just out of full view. The figure seems to be hiding, watching the party, and is not alone. Two more shapes stir deeper in the shadows. From their movements, Mars recognizes these creatures as
Kobolds.
kobolds, their small frames and tactics suggesting an ambush. They haven't attacked yet, likely waiting for the party to draw closer. Kalen whispers, "What do you see?" The rest of the group stays frozen, awaiting Mars's signal. What will Mars and the group do? Engage, attempt to scare them off, or try something else?
Well, she is the leader, so I'm just a scout. Okay, let's tell her kobolds. Mars will tell her he thinks it's kobolds, several of them, looking to ambush. He will wait for her call.
Time of day, mid-morning, around 9:10
Oh,
a.m. Mars's keen eyes pick up
oh
the
wow.
faintest flicker of movement just inside the... Kalen's deception roll,
Sorry.
21.
That was
Kalen's deception roll, 21. Kalen steps forward and calls out, her voice confident and mocking. "What's this? Kobold?"
okay, so it's reading the second half of that message because it did a Python code. But basically, I'm hoping maybe we can read the whole
Time of day,
that works.
mid-morning, around 9:15 a.m. Mars whispers back to Kalen, "It's kobolds. Several of them. They're waiting to ambush us. Your call." Kalen's eyes narrow, her lips curling into a small, calculating smile. "Clever little pests. But they're no match for us." She glances at the group. "We hit first. Lareth, circle left. Thrain, hold the front with Brock. Mars, cover us from range." Kalen pulls a dagger from her belt, her green eyes locking with Mars's. "Wait for my signal. The moment I distract them, take the first shot." The party prepares for coordinated action. Mars has his bow ready, Brock steps into position beside Thrain, and Lareth moves stealthily to flank the mine shaft. Skill check. Kalen rolls Deception, District of Columbia 13, to lure the kobolds out of hiding. Once she signals, Mars will roll for his attack. Stay ready.
There's another short for you guys. The District of Columbia. They can't vote, but at least they can take part in these deception checks. Oh, that's gold. Okay, let's go back to the regular roll.
Kalen's deception roll, 21. Kalen steps forward and calls out, her voice confident and mocking.
13
"What's
minutes.
this? Kobolds, cowering in the dark? You must think we're fools to fall for such a pathetic ambush." The sharp, jeering tone echoes into the mine shaft, and it works. A shrill hiss comes from inside, followed by the sound of claws scrambling on stone. Three kobolds burst from the shadows, their crude weapons raised, eager to attack, but they've exposed themselves completely. Kalen signals sharply, "Now, Mars!" Mars can now roll to attack with his longbow. "Let me know the roll."
Okay, so attack roll. I think my instructions tell it to follow standard D&D protocol as far as turn order and all that stuff, but it may stick with narrative. I don't recall if I updated that. I'll have to check. But in any event, let's just roll with it. Pun completely intended. Action roll. So we gotta do actions. Attack roll. Sorry. Longbow. Weapon mastery. Ooh, +5. That's oh my gosh. Critical +5. That's a 25. Critical +5. Holy mackerel.
Kalen's deception roll, 21.
Oh, yeah.
Kalen steps forward.
It broke protocol, so I have to use the
Mars's
voice.
attack roll.
You know what? I'm gonna pause it really quick. Okay, I just increased the speed of the plugin a bit to about 110%. So let's see if it's better.
Mars's attack roll, Natural 20 plus 5 equals 25, critical hit.
That's better.
Mars releases his arrow with precision, the shaft streaking through the air like a hawk diving for its prey. The lead kobold, charging out of the shadows with a jagged dagger, doesn't even have time to react. The arrow strikes it square in the chest, piercing through its heart. The creature lets out a strangled cry before collapsing to the ground, lifeless. The other two kobolds freeze for a split second, startled by the sudden and deadly accuracy of the attack.
One down.
Damage roll, critical, roll your longbow's damage, 1d8 plus 3, and double it due to the critical hit. Let me know the total damage.
It should, yep, there it is, 2d8. So I think that's a D&D Beyond thing. If you roll a critical, it knows, and so roll 2, I believe. Yep. 6 total. 6 total damage.
Kaelin's deception roll, 21. Kaelin steps forward and calls out, her voice confident and... Initiative order, 1, Kaelin 22.
That's fine.
Damage, 6 total, critical hit doubled. Mars's arrow obliterates the lead kobold with a single, devastating shot. The remaining two kobolds screech in alarm, their confidence shaken as their comrade falls instantly. One of them hesitates, gripping its rusty short sword tightly, while the other bares its teeth and looks ready to charge despite the odds. Kaelin grins. Nice shot, elf. Let's clean this up. Initiative time, roll for Brock and Mars's initiative, and I'll roll for the kobolds and allies.
Yeah. Okay, the rest we can see, so we don't need to repeat that. All right, initiative roll. So we have Mars. 19, not bad. 24, okay. Initiative for 19. Okay, good. So 24 for Brock. I'll type this in. 24 for Brock. And what was Brock? I'm sorry. 24 for Mars. Right? Yep. 21 for Brock. Okay. We're in our first encounter. Let's see how AI handles it.
Final initiative order, 1 Mars, 2 Kaelin, 2, 3 Brock, 4 Kobolds, 16, 5 Lareth, 15, 6 Thrain, 10. Mars, you're up first. 2 Kobolds remain, 1 hesitant and the other ready to charge. Both are within 30 feet of your position. What action will Mars take?
Mars will once again fire his longbow.
Mars's attack with longbow. Mars quickly knocks another arrow, drawing his bowstring taut as he takes aim at the kobold that looks ready to charge. Roll for the attack. 1d20 plus 5 and let me
8.
know your result.
Well, there goes our luck. Attack roll of 8. Not enough. Yeah, that's all right.
Mars's attack with longbow. Mars quickly knocks another arrow, drawing his bowstring taut as he...
It's continuing on. Okay, so
Kaelin's damage, 5 plus 6.
yeah. Okay, so let's see. Let's use the
Mars's
standard.
attack roll, 8, miss. Mars looses the arrow, but the charging kobold ducks instinctively, and the arrow glances harmlessly off the stone wall behind it. The creature snarls, emboldened by its narrow escape. Kaelin steps forward, her daggers flashing in her hands. Let's not give them another chance. She calls as she moves in for her turn. Kaelin's attack, rolling for her daggers.
Okay, so her attack roll was 25, hit, and 20 hit. Wow, 2 daggers. Both occasions there to strike true. One slashing the charging kobold across the chest, and the other stabbing deep into the side. The creature lets out a shriek in pain. Rolling damage 11. Make quick work of the charging kobold, which collapses to the ground in a heap. Its snarls silenced. Only one kobold remains now, frozen with fear, but still gripping its weapon. Brock's turn. Brock is up next. The remaining kobold is 20 feet away. What will we do? Well, he's going to rush in and then hit it with his great axe. Brock is going to rush it and hit it with its great axe. All right.
Brock charges forward with his great axe. Brock closes the distance in a few powerful strides, raising his great axe high overhead. With a roar, he brings it down toward the remaining kobold. Roll for your attack, 1d20 plus 5,
17,
and let
not
me know
bad.
the result.
Attack roll of 17.
Brock's attack 10. Brock's great axe crashes down with deadly precision, aiming to obliterate the trembling kobold. Roll for damage, 1d12 plus 3, and let me know the total.
Oops. Okay. That's 5. Okay. Damage of 5. Hopefully it's still alive. I want to have more of this going. Injured. Okay,
Brock's
that's no
attack
good.
10. Brock's great axe crashes down with deadly precision, aiming to obliterate.
Yep.
Brock.
Okay, so carving in the deep wound into its side, the creature screeches in agony, but
Lareth's
remains.
damage, 7 total.
Stop. Let's see. Remains standing, barely clinging to life. Blood drips from its crude armor as it stumbles backward, clearly terrified, but it's still holding its weapon. Kobold's turn. The injured Kobold, driven by desperation, attempts to strike back at Brock with his rust dagger. No, attack missed. Well, yeah, it doesn't know my AC either, so I have to keep an eye on that actually. The Kobold lunges at Brock with its rusted dagger, but desperation off its aim. The creature takes another shaky step back, its revolt clearly wavering. Lareth moving in for the flank, seeing Kobold's weakened state, raises its short bow to finish it off. Rolling for attack. 21. Whoa, 21 hit. Finishes off, rolling for damage. 7 total. The arrow strikes the kobold squarely in the chest, piercing through its small frame. With a final shriek, the creature collapses to the ground lifeless. The ambush has been completely neutralized. Caitlin surveys the area, wiping her daggers clean. Well done. There weren't much of a challenge, but it's a reminder these mines won't be empty. Combat over. What will Mars and Brock do next? Search the area. Loot. Of course, that's standard D&D protocol. Mars will loot the first 2 kobolds. Oh, maybe a list? Yep. Okay.
Mars searches the first 2 kobolds and finds Kobold 1, 1 copper coin and a small pouch of questionable herbs, faintly aromatic, possibly medicinal or poisonous. Kobold 2, 6 copper coins and a crude amulet shaped like a lizard carved from bone. Kalen glances over and smirks. Typical kobold trinkets. Keep them if you think they'll be useful. Would Brock like to search the last kobold, or do you move on?
Also, even the standard GPT voice speaks a little faster. That's fine. I know the GPT voice was at a good. I did like the way the speed it talks. It spoke, but that's fine too. So we're gonna add some items here. Do we actually take these items? Cobalt, 1 copper coin. That's fine. Maybe it'll come in handy one day. Let's see. Where do we go for inventory? 1 copper coin. 1 copper coin. Let's see there. 1 copper piece. Small patch of questionable herbs. No, we won't take that. 6 copper coins for the second one. Add a crude amulet shaped like a wizard, carved with bone. Okay, so we'll put crude amulet as this custom item. Maybe. We'll see if these are actually in the rules. Let's see. Amulet. Uh, let's just do this one here. Add to backpack, and then we'll give it some details. Customize, shaped like a lizard, comma, carved from bone. Oh, I could just put the comma from that. Okay, here we go. Brock. Let's see. Yep, Brock will definitely take the 3rd cobalt. Brock will loot the 3rd cobalt. I don't know why it translated that. 4 copper coins, nothing else of value.
Brock searches the last kobold and finds 4 copper coins. Nothing else of value. Thrain chuckles. Don't get too excited, dwarf. Kobolds aren't exactly rolling in riches. Kalen straightens and gestures to the path ahead. All right, if we're done here, let's not waste daylight. The Flametong mines are still ahead. What will the group do? Continue moving, or investigate the abandoned mineshaft further?
A little too fast. Let's do 110. Maybe that's a good midpoint between the GPT voice and the plugin voice. So, let's see. Well, we definitely gotta look for traps. Mars reminds the team that with the kobolds being so close to the entrance, they should expect more, and we should be on the lookout for traps, especially at the entrance. And I think we're going in this cave, it seems, or this mine shaft. On the day. So that battle took half an hour, 20 minutes or so.
Time of day, mid-morning, around 9:30 a.m. Mars addresses the group, his voice calm but firm. Kobolds being this close to the entrance means one thing: there are more of them inside. And knowing their kind, the path ahead is probably littered with traps. We'll need to stay sharp, especially near the entrance. Kayla nods, her expression serious. Good thinking. Kobolds are clever little pests when it comes to traps. We'll tread carefully. Skill check. As you approach the mine entrance, someone can roll Investigation, DC 14, to look for traps, or Perception, DC 15, to spot any immediate dangers around the entrance. Who will take the lead?
Well, of course, Mars. So, actions. Actions. Let's see. This is investigation, which his is +2. That's what's Brock's investigation? Probably not that decent. +0. Okay, so 7. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Mars rolled an investigation of 7. Not good enough.
Time of day, mid-morning, around 9:30 a.m. Mars addresses the group, his voice calm but firm. Kobolds being this close.
All right. Okay. Examine the grounds. Nothing. Flame Tongue Mines. So that's the name of it. Dim lights, rough terrain, can't spot anything. If there are traps, maybe they're well hidden. Kayleen frowns of no luck. That's assume it's safe. Lareth, give it a look. Got an eye for this sort of thing. So Lareth does an investigation check. 17 success. Crouching in the mine, running his hand across the ground, checking the edge of the rocks. After a moment, he points to a faintly visible tripwire stretching across the entrance, barely noticeable in the shadows. They are classic cobalt work. Step on this, you probably trigger a nasty trap. Good catch. Let's disarm it. Okay, so someone can disarm it. Sleight of hand. That's gonna be Mars again. Let's see. +5. That's gotta be nice. 23. Mars, sleight of hand, 23. He says, I did not notice it, but at least I can disarm it.
Time of day, late morning, around 10:10 a.m. Mars kneels down and deftly works his nimble fingers around the tripwire. I might have missed it, but at least I can fix that, he mutters with a smirk. With a few careful movements, he disables the mechanism, revealing a small crude trap designed to release a volley of sharpened spikes from hidden holes in the rock. The trap is now harmless. Kalen gives Mars an approving nod. Nicely done. Let's hope the rest of their tricks are just as easy to deal with. The group stands at the now safe entrance to the Flametong mines, the dark interior stretching ahead ominously. Do you venture inside immediately, or
Mark,
take a moment to prepare?
Mark has dark vision. Mark has dark vision. What can he see 60 feet down?
Time of day, late morning, around 10:15 a.m. Mars peers into the dark entrance of the Flametong mines, his elven dark vision allowing him to see up to 60 feet ahead in shades of grey. The tunnel appears narrow and slopes downward, the walls jagged and uneven. Old wooden support beams line the passage, some cracked and splintered with age. At the edge of his vision, Mars spots what looks like debris, broken tools, shattered crates, and a faint glint of metal among the rubble. The air smells stale, with a faint metallic tang, and the ground shows signs of recent disturbances, likely kobold tracks leading deeper into the mine. Kalen whispers, "What do you see, Mars?" as the rest of the group waits for his report. What does Mars do? Report back, investigate further, or call the group forward?
He tells them the basics of what he saw, tracks, and something shiny, including the smell.
Time of day, late morning, around 10:20 a.m. Mars turns to the group and relays what he saw. Tracks leading deeper, kobolds for sure. There's debris about 60 feet in, including something shiny among the rubble. The air's stale, with a metallic tang. Could be blood or rust. Kalen nods thoughtfully, gripping the hilt of her dagger. Shiny things could be bait or treasure. Either way, we proceed with caution. Thrain hefts his shield. If they're waiting in ambush, let 'em come. I'm ready. Kalen looks to the group. Mars, you lead us in. Brock, Thrain, stay at the front. Lareth and I will keep the rear. The group prepares to enter the Flame Tongue mines. How does Mars proceed, carefully investigating as they move or leading with speed to cover ground?
I'm thinking of doing this carefully. So, Mars will proceed in cautiously, avoiding walking in the middle of the path. Skill check? Skill check! Nice.
Time of day, late morning, around 10:25 a.m. Mars moves carefully into the Flame Tongue mines, keeping to the edges of the path rather than walking in the center, where traps are more likely to be placed. His steps are silent, his sharp eyes scanning for danger, while his bow remains ready. The group follows closely behind in formation. The dim tunnel grows colder as you descend, the stale metallic scent becoming stronger. As you approach the rubble, Mars noticed, the faint glint of metal becomes clearer, an old mining pick half buried in the debris. Nearby, a shattered crate reveals rotting cloth and shards of broken glass. Mars can roll Perception, DC 14, to inspect the rubble for any hidden dangers or useful items. Alternatively, someone else can step in to investigate. What's your move?
Perception. Go-to for a rogue or a ranger. Perception, that's a. Oh, I thought it was a 1. I always mistake the 7 for the 1. 4, 11. Mars rolls a perception of 11.
Time of day, late morning, around 10:30 a.m. Mars scans the rubble but doesn't spot anything immediately suspicious. The mining pick looks rusty and worn, and the broken crate's contents seem to have been long forgotten. However, a faint scratching sound echoes from deeper down the tunnel, beyond the rubble. Kalen steps closer, her voice low. Nothing here, or nothing you can see? Either way, that sound ahead doesn't sit right. The group is now at a decision point. Investigate further around the rubble for potential traps or hidden items. Investigation DC 13. Move cautiously forward toward the scratching sound. Prepare for combat, assuming danger is imminent. What will Mars and the group do?
Okay, I'm actually going to close off the episode. I'm sorry, a little abruptly here, but we did do a good amount of things today. The encounter was probably the biggest part, and I was hoping to get an encounter with the instructions because that's the first one I think of this campaign. So thank you for watching as always. And before I close, let's do the XP amount for the closing session and the text file to summarize the campaign notes. We will close this second session. Please give the appropriate amount, a small amount of XP to both characters, and a summary campaign notes downloadable text file for this second session. And I'll turn off the mic so it doesn't cause any issues. Analyzing. This will create a file and shows it through here. There's a save text file. Love that feature. And then XP earns 75 and 50. Okay, that works. Let's do it now. So Mars, I will give him his 75, which is right here. 5 XP. Apply. Brock gets 50. I think Mars did do quite a bit more in that encounter. Brock, let's do 50. Okay. So both, oops, oh well. Both characters are XP'd, and I have the campaign notes for my file saved. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in session 3 for Exeter.